I'm here at the bowels of WABI TV. It's been years since I have been on to do what used to be called the Mobile Minute spot, but they're having me back, so I'm going to do a tech segment here in a few minutes.
This morning we're joined by Chris Quimby from Midcoast Mobile Repair. He's here to give us some ideas for tech goals this year.
Yeah, now that you've had your 3 weeks in the gym
Right.
and you want to stay home on your devices, there are some things that you should pay attention to make sure that you are on those devices or computers safely. Just to dumb it down into 3 things here that you can do to maintain your relationship with them is, number one, old apps that you may have downloaded once but don't need anymore. Look through and cull out old apps on your phone or old programs on your computer. You can also take your videos, take up a lot of space on phones, for example. You can cull out old videos or old photos that you have. And then lastly, use this as an opportunity to set a pattern. So perhaps quarterly, leave yourself a reminder to do this every 3 months. It's easier to keep something clean than to get it clean.
Right, that's a great start. And what about security? There's been a lot of data breaches. We hear about that all the time. So what tips do you have there?
Yeah, that's been especially bad. I was talking to the lady at my credit union the last few months. So many people are getting scammed around this last Christmas season. One thing you can do to help mitigate that is to use a password manager on your devices. That will help you generate stronger passwords, and it will help you remember those passwords so they're ready for you. You can use the computer brain rather than your own brain to remember those. Number 2, two-factor authentication, especially with key accounts like email and banking, which you want to keep secure. Make sure you always opt in for two-factor authentication when it's possible. And then lastly, never use the same password across multiple platforms like websites and apps.
That's a really, really great point. I think we can all fall victim to that one as well, too. So before we go, what's your number 1 tech resolution for 2025?
Personally, to read more paper books and to get off my phone. And that's a challenge for all of us, to just have those boundaries, to set them and to reinforce them in our personal lives.
I'm done. I'm out here in the car. It went great. The stuff I share on the news is really simplistic to me, but it's interesting that I have this thought distortion after being in social circles, at least online, with other people who do what I do and really talk. A lot of the people talk such an intense, esoteric game when it comes to all things technology that I feel like an idiot compared to what other people know. But in dealing with customers, the things that I feel like are obvious and not even worth mentioning are things that aren't obvious and need to be mentioned. And those are the types of things that I talk about on the radio and on the news. And I have to remind myself, I'm not doing these information spots in media for other people who don't need them and already know these things. I'm doing them for people, just regular people who have other things going on in their lives and aren't as comfortable with technology and need to be reminded or educated in some of these things.